Welcome back to the Full 40 with Willie and Chris here today. We're going to do something different. Chris and I were in the middle of a fantastic conversation about being sickos about college basketball, and we were just like, why are we having this conversation off air? So we're hopping into it. Chris, we can continue exactly where you left off.
So let's set the table a little bit, right? Because we're just going right into it. But we were just talking about how for true college basketball sickos, this week is arguably just as good as Thursday, Friday of next week.
Yeah, and like to break it up, you mean like these first couple of days, your Monday, Tuesday,
Monday,
Wednesday.
Tuesday, I'll go all the way to Thursday. I'll go all the way to Thursday. And the reason why that is because you have, and I'll admit that like, I'm a Curry Hicks Sage fan. I like the search season stuff. I was into that before Villanova was in it. I was obviously into it last year during the Willard hiring process, but I've been more into it. I continue to be into it is my point. And it's added some extra flavor and context to this week's games because on one hand, in the mid-major conferences, you have coaches who every game could theoretically change their lives.
Yep.
Right? Like, and players too. And players too now in this NIL transfer portal era. But like right now, Speedy Claxton and Hofstra, as I'm saying this, are up 1 on Monmouth with 1:13 left. One of those two coaches could get a big job out of this with a huge pay raise, right? Like, along with their staffs and everything else, right? Like, so it is like on the mid-major side, that is such a fun element that it's added to me for this. I never thought of it that way. Because we had Jay Wright for so long. And so like, I didn't think about coaching carousel all that much. That was something that happened to other schools, not us. And then on the other side, on this day, on Tuesday, you have like Syracuse just lost to SMU, right? Syracuse ends their season 15-17, right? Like their coach is Autry is probably done, right? Like you would think he's probably done, right? Like Pittsburgh beat Stanford. So Jeff Capel, who's coach of Pittsburgh, survives another day. Maybe one more win's enough to keep the job. Like, so like, it's like this weird dichotomy of like coaches who could potentially get the jobs of the people who are losing in this, on these bad days in the major conferences. It's all these things are like kind of connected. It's fun. It's added the level to this that in addition to just the games being good, I'm just adding another level of flavor to this.
I mean, I love this time period because you also get the automatic qualifiers and the ticket punches. And like, for me, a thing I always love like nerding out on, once again, this is where you're real sickos, is like what teams are making the tournament for the first time ever? What teams are new to D1 that are like, Mercyhurst just lost to Long Island, but Mercyhurst was in the final and was ineligible because of the rule. They came up from D3 and they have to wait 4 years, which doesn't really make sense to me at all. Like, I don't understand if the team is good enough to get there. Like, why can't they play? Even if they can't participate in the shares and the tournament shares in the same way for whatever reason due to like the conference charter, that's fine. But like, they should be able to go to the tournament. But Mercyhurst was just there. Queens, which is new to D1, as of like 4 years ago, just made their first tournament ever. And that's Queens, Charlotte, North Carolina. There's plenty of teams that like haven't made
another team that we beat.
Another team that we beat. Another tournament team. Put it on the books.
I'm in Wisconsin, baby.
It'll literally just be them in Wisconsin, right?
It could be. It's
possible. Seton Hall might pull it off.
It's plausible. Also, you could get theoretically, I don't know, a LaSalle or somebody making a run, but maybe not. But you get my point.
Yeah. So that's just one of my favorite parts of this is like just getting to be a sicko, getting to watch these games. Like I'm gonna have the games up on or like the at least the game cast up on the side during this. Like Hofstra's up 4 with 14 seconds left. And but even just like more than that, like there's also like in for bigger games, like the WCC starts a little bit earlier, which RIP WCC. We'll see how that. Well, not really RIP, but it's gonna be so different next year. Like I have no real clue what to expect out of it. But former Villanova basketball player Sasha Gavalyukov. I think I got that pronunciation.
It sounded good. It sounded
right.
legit. It sounded confidently, so it was good.
Like he hit the biggest shot in Santa Clara history in the last 30 years, I should say. Maybe not in history, but in the last 30 years. They hadn't made the tournament since 98. That shot that he hit, which if anybody hasn't seen it, you can go look it up if you can learn how to spell his name. That shot that he hit down the stretch versus St. Mary's was took them off the bubble and has put them pretty much squarely in to the NCAA tournament, especially with other teams like Stanford losing today and kind of falling off the bubble. Like that shot is one of the biggest shot in Santa Clara history, the last 30 years, whatever. And I just sit back and I'm like, this is sick. Like to see
That's cool.
These moments that happen and like it's cool because obviously Sasha like went to Villanova and played, but just even if it wasn't him, these moments are made. I mean, that's what makes March so beautiful. And like, I just think a lot of people think, oh, March starts Thursday, conference tournaments, and it's like, no. It really starts. I mean, even as far as like, I'll say Sunday or Saturday, like when the smaller leagues start to begin. But once you get into the semis of the like real small major teams that they start having, that's where it's like it starts now, and you get all these cool stories. So I'm really excited about that.
I have two, and let's actually get into a dialogue because you and I have been talking about this a lot of late. Our group chat is always talking about 7 different things, but Willie and I have been locked into this one concept, and that is mid-major brackets.
Yep.
And so the WCC bracket is famously the ladder bracket. And there's others that have it, but I want to say WCC was one of the first to the game on this. At least it's one of the earliest ones that I can remember. And when I first saw the WCC bracket, what I mean by a ladder bracket, is that it starts way out on the left. Willie, are you trying to share a screen or something?
I'm going to try to share a screen. Yeah.
It starts. I'll try and describe it while we're waiting. It starts way out on the left with like the worst teams playing each other, right? Like 10 versus 7 and 9 versus 8, right? Like if it's a 10-team league, just using that as an example, then the winner of those games plays the next bad team down, right? Like the 5 and the 6. And the winner of those games plays the 4 and the 3. And the winner of those games only then gets to play the 1 and the 2, right? Like, so the 1 and the 2 get a bye all the way to the semifinals, as opposed to a traditional bracket, which is what like the Big East has, which is like 1 versus the winner of 8-9, right? Like 2 versus the winner of 7-10, 3 versus the winner of 6-11. And so the bye is to the quarterfinals, right? Like, so you're giving the 1 and 2 seed an extra bit. And at first when I saw that, I was like, yo, that's BS that they're protecting Gonzaga and St. Mary's. And then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? Taking away the context of Gonzaga and the St. Mary's are like almost basically permanent fixtures in the NCAA tournament. This really does make a ton of sense for your more run-of-the-mill average one bid mid-major league. And the reason why I feel that way, and Willie, I know you and I kind of see eye to eye on this to some degree, although maybe we'd make some certain slight modifications, is because your 1 seed and your 2 seed, it could be close, right? Like it could be even maybe as 3 seeds, whatever. But your 1 seed and 2 seed generally year in and year out are going to be teams that are like finishing pretty high on KenPom, like relative to your conference, pretty high on KenPom, survived the slog of the year, right? Like probably have the best chance to theoretically win a game versus a major conference opponent in your like 4-13 matchup, your 3-14 matchup, your 2-15 matchup, right? Yes, a team could make a magical run through their conference tournament and into March, but then you're dealing with Willie's got it up now.
It took me a bit to figure out how to share screen, but we're good.
But like what you're doing here with the WCC is you're kind of preventing a bid stealer, right? B, you're honoring the fact that your 1 and 2 seeds have been the best teams all year, so you're giving them the best chance to make the NCAA tournament, right? Like if you just take away this is Gonzaga and St. Mary's who would make it otherwise, right? Like, and you just put it in the Horizon League or whatever other league that you could come up with that's a clear one bid league, right? You're basically putting your teams in the best possible, your best teams in the best possible position to make the tournament. And if they make the tournament, they're the ones that have the best chance to actually win a game and get your conference and NCAA tournament credit. So that procures the best chance of quote unquote madness happening. So I'm now actually fully on board for the ladder tournaments for mid-major leagues, but I have a caveat. I am fully against for mid-major conferences, outright excluding your worst teams. One of the things I like about the mid-major things, and one of the things that adds for me that makes this week such a fun week for the sickos, is that starting this week or early last week when it was all kicked off, theoretically, almost every single team in the country had a chance to win a national championship, which I realize is never going to, I realize Old Dominion, the 11 seed here in this thing, is not going to win 7 games in a row.
Well, so this is why I pulled it up though, exactly for this, because look what happened. Georgia Southern, the 10 seed, won 6 games in a row, or 5 games in a row to get to the position to potentially become the champion, and had to play a Troy team that had 1 loss or that only had to play 1 game. I love that. This is fantastic. It protects Troy, but also you can still see Georgia Southern go on this run and earn their way in.
They almost did.
Yeah.
Right. And that Georgia Southern team, I like that because I like the fact that Georgia Southern theoretically had an opportunity to win a national championship, which I realize is never good. I get that, okay, you break it down, it's not going to actually happen. But I love the concept that the bracket's not really the field of 68 or 64. It's like a full all the other brackets that kind of made up that bracket, except when you get to mid-major multi-bid leagues, then I'm actually okay with multi-bid leagues, excluding teams. So they're like BC and Notre Dame and Georgia Tech in the ACC were not invited to their conference tournament. Too fucking bad, guys. Right? You had every opportunity to make a tournament, right? You're out, right? But for the mid-major leagues, I like every team kind of being in it.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I mean, when we started having this conversation, I used to be staunchly anti this. And this was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, the first time I saw it, I was so anti. And as I've just kind of watched more and just thinking about more of it from the protecting your best teams, getting your best team into the tournament, because let's take a step back here. Every team has the choice, or every conference has the choice to choose what their auto qualifier is. You could choose regular season to be your auto qualifier. There's no rule against it, but every team chooses the conference tournament because it generates dollars and there's value from that. If you made it just if you just made it the regular season that you auto qualify qualify from, then you're having a watered down conference tournament. That's not to say people wouldn't care, but it doesn't have the same juice because you're not fighting for a bid. This is the best of both worlds where you're literally giving such an advantage to your regular season winner. Troy, once again, has to play 1 game. It makes the regular season matter. And then you can still go through and have these tournaments. There was intrigue around Georgia Southern when they started doing this. That's natural. That's going to happen. Had Georgia Southern upset Troy, they would have earned their way in. So I'm just we've been spending some time talking about this, and I've just become so pilled to this. I sit back and this is what, frankly, the MAC should be doing. And obviously, it's a little different because, Miami, Ohio's 31-0, and so there's talk around it. But any mid-major, small to low major should do this, but also the WCC is a really good conference and they do it. So go ahead and do it. If you have a situation where you have max 2 teams that you could expect to be in every year, do it.
Do it. 100%. 100% agree. And what I will say though is I do think they could even make it more funky. Willie, you and I were talking about this. I think you could really screw it to be really protective of your teams. If you, Willie and I were literally drawing this out. So, but but I think you could even make the ladder even more. Like maybe you could even if you want to put the 1 seed in the championship, fuck it.
That would be wild.
That would be wild. But like, hey, 1 seed, win 1 game. That's all we're asking you to do. Win 1 game. But like, look, I really am pro the ladder for the mid majors. And then I am pro anything but the ladder, and I'm pro actually like a pretty tidy tournament for the majors. Where like the Big East works, but like if the Big East wanted to eliminate Team 11, I wouldn't care.
Yep.
Like fuck it. Like who cares, right? Like what is that doing for what is that game bringing us, right? Like just make it 6-10. Make it 7-10, 8-9, and then the 6 seed also gets a bye to the like we did like what the Big East tournament was before UConn joined.
I just wanted to show this.
Oh, this one's awesome.
The monstrosity that is the Horizon League's championship bracket.
I adore this bracket. Willie and I were talking about this, and we couldn't figure it out just looking at this paper until I think I hacked it. So if you want to, like, can you zoom in?
I think
I can barely. Yeah.
Give me a second. Yeah, I can zoom in.
This bracket is amazing. Keep going a little bit more.
A little more.
This bracket's amazing.
We'll keep
so
it small.
The 10 seed and the 11 seed, they're the worst 2 teams, play each other for the right to play the 1 seed. Okay. Then in the first round, the 1 seed plays the winner of those worst 2 games. Yeah. It's effectively a play-in, right? Like, and the 2 plays 9 and so on and so forth. There's 5 games, right? Then the 2 worst seeded teams that win those games then play another play-in for the right to play the 1 seed again. So they keep reseeding this thing. So whoever wins, like in this case, it was 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. 5 and 7 played for the right to play the 1 seed, and 2 and 3 faced off. But if it was 1, 4, 5, 6, 7 or something like that, it would be 6 versus 7 plays each other for the right to play the 1 seed, and 4 and 5 would face off. Right. Like, so like to me, this was like, this blew my mind, but it was amazing. I love this idea. Keep reseeding your bracket until to give the 1 seed every advantage they possibly could have. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm totally cool with that.
And Wright State did just win. So they are,
right.
Looked.
Yeah, they did. And Hofstra won. Just so
Hofstra did. Okay.
Tie that bow.
Shout out Speedy.
Shout out Speedy Claxton.
All right.
So Siena's up big on Merrimack right now, but
Joe Gallo's shaking in his boots. All right. So we chatted through the
all right, we got all that out of our system.
Got this out of our system. Thank you for indulging us. This would have been just 20 minutes. I was talking pre-call.
Villanova basketball. Let's get into that. 18 minutes into the podcast, Villanova is going to come up.
So Villanova, honestly, like we went 2-0, which like we last week we were on this podcast being like we wouldn't be shocked if we dropped one. We didn't. We handled business. The DePaul game was, but we handled business pretty much wire to wire versus Xavier.
I was wrong. I said I was worried.
Yeah.
I said we still have to win a game to make tournaments. Just winning one. I was wrong. We fucking went out. We beat the crap out of DePaul.
Yep.
And we pretty much controlled the whole entire thing with Xavier. Again, this team just constantly feels a need to like let an opponent stay in a game and hang around, but we took care of business. We won. We ended up winning by like 12 or 13 points or whatever it was. And so it was good. And I will add that I took my oldest daughter to her first basketball game
those were such cute pictures.
On Saturday.
Yeah.
And I got to shout out a couple people. Patty helped me get tickets. I sat in great seats. It was amazing. Like Patty and her husband helped me navigate getting into like the little club area or whatever, like, which I've never actually been in. So that was nice and really awesome. And then my daughter got to take a picture with the Wildcat. And like it was like with Willie Cat, like it was awesome. The whole thing was awesome, and it was like I was super nervous about bringing my daughter to a game that like was theoretically going to be close. So one of the reasons why I picked this game is because I like thought this was our best chance for a quote unquote easy win, and fortunately we pretty much controlled the entire time. But it was a good clean win. The stadium, I finally got to like view going to a Villanova game from the lens of like bringing a kid with me, which is something I never had to do before. So like I never had to think about like, okay, what does a parent think with going with their kids? And I'll be honest, like for as much as sometimes I have commentary about the student section needs to be better, and they were on break this game, so I give them a pass on that. Like it wasn't particularly loud in there, but like for all of that being said, like in terms of like from a family friendly experience, like world class for Nova. It was excellent. It was tremendous. So I was really happy. And it was a really fun day. My daughter was super into it. She's 4.5. I didn't know how much into it, but this year she's shown a little bit more interest in it. And like I'm fighting this urge to like throw everything at her, but I'm nervous that I'm going to scare her away. So it's like I'm trying to fight this battle of like how much do I bring her in, but she seems to now be into it. So now it's like good. So I'm hopeful to take her to more games in the future. But it was awesome. So I detoured there. But coming back to the point, we took care of business in 2 games. We are firmly 1,000%. Not even a question in the field. We are 1,000% not in the first 4. We are right now in a battle for seeding in the NCAA tournament.
Yep. And so as we think about our seeding, we kind of can run the gamut anywhere between, at this stage, I think a 10 is out of the picture. A 6 would be possible with a run to the Big East. Honestly, you probably need to win the Big East final to get to 6, honestly.
You might need to win it all to get a 6.
Yeah.
Here's the reason why. I was just looking at this the other day. I'm looking at Bracket Matrix right now. And maybe I should share my screen.
It's going to go through a lot of crap. Just share your individual tab. That'll be the easiest way.
I have to zoom in, don't I?
You shouldn't have to. We're going to do this live. Oh, wait, I see it. Let me see it. Upload in. Boom.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the range. Here's Villanova right here. Bracket Matrix. And what Bracket Matrix does, for those who don't know, but you should know, if you're just watching 2 idiots talk about Villanova basketball on Twitter, like you should know what Bracket Matrix is. But anyway, Bracket Matrix basically takes all the brackets that like major bracketologists do, minor bracketologists do, anyone who submits to this website. ESPN's on there, everybody's on there, right? Like, and they basically take like, it's like a wisdom of crowds type theory. It's like, okay, here's what everyone says. Here's your average. They average out what seed people have you in. And they basically say, okay, based on that wisdom of crowds, here's your thing. And they rank it by average seed. So if you scroll up to the top, you'll see that everyone has Duke, Michigan, Arizona as full-blown 1 seeds, no questions asked, etc. Florida, obviously, pretty right there with them. And then UConn goes down from there. So when you're looking at our vicinity on this bracket matrix, and I'm not saying we are the worst 7 seed right now, in my view, though I think it's pretty close. But like, it just shows more than anything else for this exercise, it shows the range of schools that we're competing against. So theoretically, if we're in the 7 slot, our seeding could oscillate if you want to say that from like a 6 to like a 9, right? Like is that exactly right? Like maybe not, but like at the worst 7 right now, based on wisdom of crowds, you would think that we're not going to move at this late stage in the season. We're not going to move any more than like 4, 5, 6 spots up or 4, 5, 6 spots down, right? Like none of these individual games is shaking up the season that much, right? So when you look at it like that, Willie, to your point, I would think our max is like the worst 6 seed.
Yep.
and our min is probably the best 9 seed, right? Like, so think of it like in this, like, you got to think about how everyone else performs too. But like St. Mary's lost yesterday to Santa Clara, so they performed as worst as they could possibly do in their tournament, right? BYU just blew the doors off of Kansas State, so they're probably safe on the 6th line, right? Like, we beat Wisconsin, but they've done nothing but beat elite teams this year, so we're not going to pass them. Louisville, I don't know, maybe. But then you look at Kentucky. If Kentucky loses in its first game in the SEC tournament, if Miami, Florida loses in its first game in the ACC, could we skip those teams to move up the theoretical bracket? Or and we have to win, right? Like, obviously. Or do we lose a game or lose a bad game, so to speak? And okay, now all of a sudden we're not far ahead of Georgia. So like, if you look at the actual averages, like, not that far ahead of Georgia. So like, could we slip back a thing? Does Georgia overperform in their conference tournament? We underperform. All that stuff, UCLA, Clemson, Utah State, all that stuff kind of matters. And so that's kind of like the range that we're working in. And so right now, I think with a win on Thursday, I feel like we're probably okay.
I think you can lock in the 7 with a win on Thursday.
I think we would lock in a 7 with a win on Thursday, assuming that, let's just say we get UConn in the semifinals. We don't get the fucking doors blown off of us to leave a bad taste in the committee's mouth on their last selection thing. Or alternatively, we get Providence or something like that. Like, you gotta win that game, right? Like, so like, you don't want to take a bad loss right now. You don't want to add a Q2 or Q3 loss. Conversely, if you win a Q1 game, which is we don't have a ton of, like, it could have a springboard effect for us, like, in theory. Now, that being said, in recent years, the committee has shown that to move the needle in the bracket, like, every day this week, their like willingness to like move the needle of the bracket reduces, right? Like, so in other words, like,
yeah,
on Thursday is your best chance to make a final impression, right? Like, Friday and then Saturday and then early Sunday doesn't matter at all.
I want to double click into that just because, like, I kind of agree. We've seen time and time again through over the last like 4 seasons, let's just say, like, really the committee just doesn't care about the end results of the conference tournaments. But to your point, I think they probably stop that Thursday, where if you're a bubble team and you lose your game on Thursday, you're probably out. If you win your big game on Thursday, you're probably in. And then after that, I don't know that they care. Besides, if you win your conference tournament, then they probably bump you up a seed. That's about it.
Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe. You have to be on that cut line. Like, if we're the 4th 7 seed in their mind, right? Like, forget if you think that's valid or not. In the committee's mind, if we're the 4th 7 seed right now, I guess theoretically beating St. John's and UConn could move the needle for them, for us. I don't know if it moved the needle for another team because another team might have stacked a bunch of Q1 wins already. We haven't. So it would fundamentally change our resume to beat UConn. But like, which is kind of the reason why we're a 7 seed and not a 5 seed.
Yeah.
But that being said, to your point, Willie, like, once you get past Thursday, like, they're starting to solidify teams. They don't want to make it just like they're basically, and then the only thing that they do is make like alternative brackets if like such and such a team steals a bid, right? Yeah. Like, and that's all because they have to. They're forced into that situation. So really, like, I think our point in all of this, Willie, and we've said it a couple of times, is like the name of the game to like wear a home jersey. Let's just make it simpler than that.
Yep.
To wear a home jersey in round 1, so that's a 7, 8, or 6 seed, right? Is win Thursday. You win Thursday. I feel confident saying that we will wear a home jersey on Thursday or Friday of the NCAA tournament.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
And to do that, we have to play either DePaul or Georgetown. Where have you heard that before? So. And it's interesting because like Georgetown's I was just looking at this. KenPom favors Georgetown by 2 on the neutral, but that has a lot to do with the fact that Georgetown's Ken Palm rating and net rating was built on, was it KJ Lewis or whatever his name is? Like, so like he's injured and out for the rest of the season. So I would imagine that like if Ken Palm had an opportunity to like rule out the injured player type thing, which I think he theoretically says he does, but like I don't know how easy he can do that. But like you would have to assume DePaul is favored on. Like I would assume that DePaul will be favored in Vegas on.
This
on
is
Thursday.
6 seed DePaul we're talking. This is not your father's DePaul team.
It's not.
It actually
It's
might
not.
be closer to your father's DePaul team. Actually,
It might be closer to my father's DePaul team.
Yeah.
It's not my slightly older uncle's.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
but I think we'll play DePaul on Thursday.
Yeah, that and we've seen DePaul twice, and we've seen how it's gone. Like DePaul has, I mean, honestly, like even though we kind of blew the doors off them down the stretch of the second half of the game last week, they played us well the first half. Everybody, like, we all felt it. We were all like, good Lord, not again. Like, this is about to happen. And then we pulled away. This is a pretty, like, frisky DePaul team. People in DePaul circles, I've heard chatter, call it Team of Destiny, which, hello. But that would be, so, like, this is a DePaul team that, like, once again, we've seen they can beat us, or they have the ability to score with us. They're not just a pure cakewalk game for us. But let's just say we beat DePaul, we solidify the 7th seed. Then we get into what we spoke about a little bit last week is like matchups and who we want to see. We would likely see the winner of UConn, and then it's actually Marquette or Xavier, if I'm correct here. Yep. Marquette or Xavier here, which I thought if they had Providence, I'd feel better about like potentially seeing Providence. I don't think Marquette or Xavier have a chance versus UConn. Like not a remote not a chance in the world.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot Providence was in the upper bracket. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just pulling up this thing.
Chris is zooming in. So yeah, then we'll have the winner of. Let me make sure I'm not. Yeah, the winner of UConn, Xavier, or Marquette, assuming we beat DePaul, which we can assume is UConn. So that is a third date with UConn. First date, we kind of blew. Second date, they did what they needed to do.
Yep.
And we're gonna be in Stores South, also known as Villanova North.
So look, DePaul on Thursday night. We've seen DePaul on Wednesday night. It scared the fucking shit out of us. But we've seen DePaul on Thursday. DePaul on Thursday night. DePaul's going to play tough. This has been their best season in a long time. Like they're not. I don't think they're going to try and go out lightly. Like they've had a really good season. 6th seed for them. Yeah, the end of the conference has been like the back end of the last 11 teams in the conference have been a mess. But like whatever, right? Like you came in 6th in the Big East. That's your best season in a long time. They're not going to want to see that end. So I think we're going to get DePaul's best shot. If you do win, you get UConn. And Willie, you know what happens when the calendar for me turns to March? All those complaints that I had last week are gone.
It's time for irrational exuberance.
10 toes down for Willard and Co. All right. So I'm all in. We're beating UConn on Friday night. Going to Saturday finals of the Big East tournament, where we will play the Friars of Providence.
I'm loving this, Chris. This is it.
Honestly, I think it's going to be. How cool would it be? How cool would it be if 10 years from the day that Kevin Willard led Seton Hall
there's a narrative
over 1 seed eventual national champion Villanova, thriller at MSG, he returns to lead the Wildcats to a Big East tournament championship over his former team, Seton Hall. What the stories that John Fanta alone would write about that would be outstanding. But I'm in on. I think there's going to be. Look, this conference this year has played out so boringly. right? Like it has been St. John's and UConn. Most of the conference has blown ass, right? Like the Big East hasn't really Big Easted this year, right? Like Providence and St. John's had that fight. Right? Like other than that, there hasn't been any content. It's been nothing. Like we're gonna need something to shake it up a little bit, right? Like, and I think this tournament, for no rational reason whatsoever, the Big East is going to be on drugs this week. Something has to change this week. It can't just be like chalk. It's not going to be a St. John's, Seton Hall, UConn, and Villanova Friday night. If it is, the tickets in the Garden are going to be super expensive. Yeah. But if it's not, it could get a little fun. Like what happens if it's Providence all of a sudden with Kim English already announced as fired, finishing the year. Tim English takes Providence all the way to the tournament final. Could you imagine? Like they already knocked off St. John's and MSG earlier this year.
I need that to happen with every team that announces a coach is fired before the season ends. Like Bobby Hurley, go win the Big 12. Like just go do it. Like I need to see that.
But how fun would that be? And I realize that, like, look, if you're betting, if you look at the Ken Palm rankings, etc., you have no reason to pick anybody other than UConn and St. John's.
Yep. But games aren't played on paper, baby.
It's fucking March, baby. No, but I do believe that if you're, let's assume that UConn beats Marquette on Thursday, they get their revenge game out of their system, etc. And it's UConn Nova on Friday night. Like I genuinely do believe that we're going to stand a chance in that game. Mm-hmm. That like almost by like percentages, right? Like, okay, we played them tight, but lost at UConn. We played the first half kind of tight with them at home, and then they had just come off a loss and they kind of had gotten their shit together, like whatever. Like I feel like UConn, between UConn and St. John's, I'm happier that UConn's on our side of the bracket than St. John's. I don't think Willard has a great answer for how St. John's plays their up-tempo pace and whatever. UConn plays a little bit more of a manageable game for us to coach against. Now, granted, Dan Hurley and his staff are excellent. So like game planning against Nova a third time is going to be that much harder. UConn is obviously going to have, I would imagine, a home court advantage, at least to some degree. Like that wasn't the case in 2022, where it was like a really good split crowd when we played them in that amazing semifinal game. Probably one of the more fun games. The game where Brandon Slater got the block.
Yep,
yeah. That was one of my favorite games ever. Right, like the Creighton game the next day was like a letdown by comparison. Right, like, but that's going to be a fun game, and in a little bit of like Villanova fans will show. It's not going to be like a 80-20, but it'll probably be like 60-40, 65-35, something like that. It'll be more. UConn fans a little bit louder, so it'll be a little bit more intensity. But that game has an opportunity to be fun, right? Like that's kind of like Villanova and UConn are still the teams with the most national championships by far in this conference. So who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want that?
I mean, I hope we get it, because that game on Friday would be just, straight cinema. I want to transition. One, to just give a shout out to the women's team really quickly, because we're talking about making the tournament. The women's team also is pretty squarely in the bracket.
They're in the field.
In the field.
It would be criminal if they don't make the field. They've been they went into this week as like an 8-9 type, maybe a 10. And they won. They went to the final.
Yeah, went to the final. Like, can't get over the UConn hump. That's even a bigger hump in the women's than it is over the men's. Like,
nobody gets over the
weekend. No, that's not happening. Yeah. So absolutely, shout out to Denise Dillon and the whole team. They, like, I don't think people understand, like, this is actually like a really strong season from the team. We went into, I think it was on the road at West Virginia, who is won the Big 12 regular season, I believe, is projected as like a 4 seed, and took care of business versus versus Wisconsin versus West Virginia. Like we already have a really strong win on our what's the word I'm looking for? Have a really strong win in our back pocket with them. I think this women's team is like really, really fun, led by Basco, but Bryn McCurry, Danae Carter, Ryan Allen, like all the rest of the women on this team, like it's kind of interesting where like this is our best women's teams have been very heliocentric, just about one player, and then somebody else steps up. Like preseason of the Maddie Lucy season, I shouldn't say no one was expecting Lucy to be as good as she was, but like Lucy took a step forward.
Yeah.
And then Maddie was who it's built around. Same thing here with the women. We knew Basco was going to be the straw that stirs the drink. We saw a step forward by McCurry. And I love what I've seen like from the team whenever I'm able to like catch a game. The women's team has like I want to give a shout out. Like they did beat West Virginia in Morgantown. Huge, won by like 22. So it wasn't just like a easy like or like a small like, oh, we escaped for the big win. Like we went in and made a statement and then basically held serve for what you needed to do in the Big 12 or the Big East. Obviously, besides beating UConn, which like if we could beat UConn, we would probably be a 3 seed. We couldn't do that, but we're not there yet. But just a really strong. They should hear their name called. They probably actually shouldn't be an 8 or a 9 seed. Like they should probably be about a 7. But they'll probably just get a little bit dinged for that. But I'm excited for them. Like we have 2 tournament teams this year, which I mean, it's just super exciting to have 2 teams. Like
yes,
and hopefully 2 teams that can win a game. And I mean, why not win 2? Why not 3?
Why not us?
Why not us?
Why not us? Yeah, no, I mean, look, I'm not betting against Denise Dillon and the Wildcats to win a game. Look, you know how it goes, especially if we're like on the 8-9 line. It's going to be really like uphill battle in game 2, but like go have a game, go get a tournament credit, right? Like, yep. I mean, like, look, the one thing that you could say is that Denise Dillon has basically created a situation where the Villanova women's team is like a constant fixture in postseason play. Like, I could be wrong, but I think they've made either the NCAA tournament or the WNIT or the WBIT. Wibbit. I said that like a couple of years ago, and I can't get it out of my head. But I think they've made the postseason tournament every year but her first year, and maybe
Denise Dillon has not had a season with less than 20 wins since the COVID season of 17-7. So has won in every like put up wins in every single season.
Right.
And
okay.
And then the last 2 years have made the Wibbit, and then the NCAA tournament those 2 years before. 2020, we didn't make anything. I think we made the like.
There was no.
It was a weird. It was 2021. Sorry, so it's like that next year, but that was still a weird season.
Okay, but
and we made the WNIT. Yeah, we went to the WNIT.
She's been on a run of like just postseason appearances, which is good and not something that you would have necessarily said about Villanova years ago. So like obviously Harry Peretta had his years of whatever that were great. I think there was an Elite 8 in there. They've had their runs, but this feels a little bit more consistent, and that's even with the portal era, with Lucy transferring, etc. Like when Lucy transferred, all those girls on that team, those women on that team transferred.
Yep.
You were like, oh shit. Like, do we? And I said it. I was right there. I was guilty of it myself. I was like, are we investing in this enough? Like, what are we doing? Are we bought in enough on this? Are we doing the right things, etc.? And then credit to her. Like, yeah, we're right back in it, right? Like, and so rebuilt it from a different core team, right? Like, and that's kind of a mark of a good coach is like, okay, well, you had Maddie. So like, if you wanted to ascribe her success to like what Maddie was able to do, right? Then you can't do that anymore because she's done it with a totally different set.
Yep.
Right. So good on her, good on them. I still would like to see Villanova just be like, it doesn't seem like it would be that much more of an investment to make Villanova like.
Why can't we just be a consistent top 25 team? Like
right.
That's what I would love to see from the women.
Like,
Just be consistently there.
Because like as much as the men's side operates on all these tiers, right? Like, and there's all these tiers, and there's mid-major, major, etc., whatever, right? Like, it's a lot more, I'll call it democratic, for lack of a better word, right? Like in the men's side, like there's a
Oh,
lot more parity,
the
right?
women's, it's 12,
No,
14 teams, and within that 12 and 14, there's like
there's like
five
five
that
teams.
are, yeah,
Yeah.
there's a 5 that are different.
Yeah, there are 5 that are different,
Yeah.
really different. Then there's another like 10, 12, right? Like, and then there's like that in like 1A, so like 1 and 1A, and then there's tier 2, and tier 2 is like your perennial tournament teams. And are they ever winning a national championship? No. But are they? Because that really requires a level of institutional commitment that that is different, and would candidly, just in full honesty, like, yes, this team draws some crowds, but actually requires like
sellouts,
like national interest, etc. Like, I guess if you win enough in that tier 2, maybe you climb in there, but like that's a different level, right? Like, there's revenues there, right? Like,
because Iowa was not a tier 1 program; it was like tier 2, tier 3, and then Caitlin Clark happened, and that put them there. And now that she's gone, it's dropped back down. But Iowa still has a fantastic fan base. I'm not taking anything away from them,
right?
But like, there's that institutional, like, they have a incredible fan base. That's not even just for basketball, but for everything.
So like, but Villanova is kind of in like that tier 3. I feel like they're still in the tier 3 where it's like, yeah, they make the tournament, right? Like, sometimes, right? Like, and it's like, why not? Right? Like, just go be tier 2, right? Like, go be the team that's always the quote unquote foil to UConn, right? Like the one team that UConn has to like actually think about when they play. Like, but like, I feel like that's right there for the taking. I really do.
I love that I said Iowa fell off. They're like top 10 in the country, but it's
I
just
don't
different.
know. I just didn't challenge it.
But it's different. Like, I was like, they're still ranked pretty high, but it is a little different.
Anyway, in the 8, like if they're in the 8-9 line, which I don't know, ESPN bracketology seems to think that they will be. Like, if they're in the 8-9 line, then like, look, you win in one game, you're probably then you're playing a team that's thinking national championship.
Like, you're fine. They have us like it'd be Texas we would see, according to like ESPN, which obviously is never that great. And then, but like the worst 1 seed as of right now is going to be South Carolina. Like, that's terrifying.
Yeah, right. That's the worst 1 seed.
Yeah, that's the cannon fodder 1 seed, South Carolina. Because it's like UConn, UCLA with Lauren Betts, go off queen. Lauren Betts is amazing. And then I think the third is Texas. Yeah, Texas, South Carolina.
Nice. So, men's side.
Yeah. So there's something I wanted to talk about, but
go ahead.
What I wanted to talk about was, so we just had the awards, and I think we should kind of walk through some of these awards. I have it up here. So the all conference first team was announced for the all Big East teams. Michael Ajayi, first team, Caravan first team, Silas Demery first team, Terrace Reed first team. This sounds like a UConn team. Zuby Ejiofor, and then Trey Carroll. Zuby was the only unanimous selection,
as it should have been.
Yeah. Zuby will be conference player of the year. Like that. There shouldn't be any surprise about that. That's for the first team. For the second team, give me a second. I'm just going to solo ball from UConn, Jalen Sellers from Providence, which I like. Bryce Hopkins, St. John's, Bud Clark, Seton Hall, and our first Wildcat, Caden Lewis from Villanova. And then the third team, which it was a tie, but whatever. There's 6 people on the third team, which is bothering me. Finley Bizjack, KJ Lewis, who we talked about earlier being injured, Nigel James, Dylan Mitchell, Duke Brennan, and Tyler Perkins. So your 2 Wildcats there for your third team. And all freshmen, Braylon Mullins, Nigel James, Jameer Jones, Stephon Vox, and Caden Lewis. So from a Wildcat standpoint, there's no one on all defense, so I'm just going to skip that. From a Wildcat standpoint, Caden Lewis, second team, and first all freshmen, which makes sense. And then third team, Duke Brennan and Tyler Perkins. We've seen some conversation about, and I've seen just online, about Duke or Tyler wanting to be second team, and I don't really disagree. I think I probably would have put Duke on it for second team. I think Duke has just been, we talked about this last podcast, like our most important player. He's been fantastic. He's been like levels above of what I thought he was going to be. I was expecting a guy giving us 8 and 7 and like mixing it up. He's been just a dominating force. Which just as a very, very, very big aside, speaking of dominating forces, Bam Adebayo has 74 points in the fourth quarter of the Wizards game.
I saw that.
Yeah. I've been like keeping it on this like corner of my eye. He's at 74 points. That's insane. But yeah, just shout out to Duke Brennan, shout out to Tyler Perkins, shout out to Caden Lewis. Would like to see them a bit higher. I think. Yeah.
I'm sharing my screen again.
Okay. Sure.
I have something to say about this.
Okay. Go off.
I have something to say about this. Hold on one second. I am presenting or about to present. This is from the NCAA Nitty Gritties report. This is actually what the committee gets. It's multiple different layers to this. It actually has the net. Also, if you're frustrated and you can't see the net because it doesn't come out until 9 o'clock, usually this report updates at like 7:30, 8 o'clock Eastern times. And so you can actually get to this one earlier. And it's actually more robust. But anyway, and it shows like your net ranking. It shows like your wins against bubble ranking. It shows your strength of schedule versus that regular NCAA net like spreadsheet that they put out that is awful and cumbersome and hard to use. This one you can actually filter. It's way better. This is way better. I don't know why this just isn't the thing. But anyway, I bring this up to talk about the teams that were selected. And here's my issue with the teams that were selected. Yes, UConn came in second, very close second. Mm-hmm. Split their games with St. John's. 17-3, great season, whatever. I have no issue with UConn having a number of players on the top three teams. St. John's won the conference. If I'm not mistaken, they had 2 players total. That seems a little funky. Right? But Zubi Ejiofor was very clearly in my view the player of the year in league play.
They had 2 on all defense, Zubi and Dylan Mitchell.
And then Bryce Hopkins obviously was pretty good.
Dylan was also third team.
Oh, okay. So 3. Yeah. Okay, fine. Then I'm more okay with that. But I want to show you something that happens. 15-5 is what Villanova was. So upper echelon team by record. Obviously, we didn't get a win versus UConn St. John's. But going down from there, the next closest team was 5 games behind us. 5. And if you look at the nets, 9, 21, 33, 56, and then 20 teams between 81 and 101. So of the 17 players that made the league all-conference team, how many, Willie, were on non-St. John's, UConn, and Villanova?
Oh, you want me to actually count or guess?
Yes, I want you to tell me of the 17.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I can guess. All right. So of the 17, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 of the players came from Creighton through DePaul.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me triple check. 5.
All of which were under 500 this year. Not even sniffing a conference title. Creighton gets a bye with a 9-11 record.
I almost think your first thing getting in is like Michael Ajayi from Butler being first team All Big East, which is deserving, but Butler is what are they there?
If he didn't play for them this year, they would have gone from 7-13 to 6-4. There's not many more games to lose. What are we doing? I get it. The deserving players and blah, 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 whatever. But this feels a little participation trophy. I'm just going to say it. I don't like this. Right? Villanova was a very clear third, right? I don't need more Villanova players on this. I don't.
The 3 that are on there are the 3 that should
are
be.
the one. Yeah. Right. But why are Duke and Tyler duking it out to get onto that third team. I don't know. I just find it a little bit. I'm a little offended by it. And it's not even necessarily a Villanova centric take because, as I said, I wouldn't necessarily increase the number of Villanova players on there. Yeah. I certainly would have more on team 2. I would probably actually flip the results. I would be fine if the results were flipped. If a Caden was on the third team, and Duke and Tyler were on the second team, I'd be fine with that. Like based on purely what happened in the Big East. But now I get putting a point guard from the team. Obviously, Villanova had a major step up this year. A lot of that had to do with Lewis. He was he's the straw that stirs the drink, etc. But like Duke was unbelievable this year. Tyler Perkins was amazing.
Tyler Perkins specifically, his leap came during Big East play.
Yeah.
Like he was kind of just like the same Tyler Perkins we saw last season up until Big East play started, and then he took a leap.
Right. So all I'm saying is like this was not the year for me. Like I get in most years, like you get, hey, look, maybe one of the bad teams has like a truly transcendent great player, so you got to put them on the thing. Like and maybe that's your Ajayi, Trey Carroll type, whatever. But like why should anybody? I can make the case based on the team performances. Why should anybody other than like lower than Bud Clark on this list make an all tournament team? Like St. John's went 18-2. They only get 3 guys.
Okay, I'm looking at this now because and it's a little bit different because it's a different Big East. I wanted to see because I was thinking of like what's the best player from a terrible team that like would have been highly rated in the Big East, like highly ranked. And I was like, what was Max Strus during his time at DePaul? Where Max Strus is phenomenal, but DePaul was just buns. Strus was second team All Big East, behind. Just to give you names from the past: Jesse Govan from Georgetown, Marcus Howard, Shamori Pons, Miles Powell, and then Phil and Eric were both first, and then Strus was second team. That feels more like in line with what you're kind of getting at of like that's where you put that kind of player. I don't even remember if Georgetown was good that year either. I'm gonna look at this as well. They were middling. They were 9-9 in conference.
Yeah.
Right. What a time to be alive. And DePaul was last.
Right. And guess what? Had DePaul been 9-9, Max Strus would have been first team.
Yep.
Because he was really good. I remember it. We talked about it on the podcast. I think the Strus is loose. Right? Yeah. We're talking about it all the time, Rob and I. Well, I don't know. I in this particular season, where it was so mediocre, where it was so top heavy, where you had such a delineation between 1, 2, then 3, and then everybody else. You could throw Hall up in like its own little category, and then everybody else finished within 20 spots of the net with one another. Like 3 games separated Creighton from last place. Creighton got a bye. It's just so bad this year.
So
why would you just not reward the teams that were actually good?
This gets to something that I think we discussed in the group chat because you were like feeling down on the team, and we kind of came up with like, and I mean Chris isn't wrong, but Chris has a real hate for the Big East this year.
And I'm usually all about the Big East. For me to get down on the Big East is like a different level of whatever. Willie, you're like going in now. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, I was fixing something, but I'm here. Also, Bam Adebayo has 79 points. I'm just keeping an eye on this on the side as this is going on because this is wild.
But anyway, I'll stop sharing my screen. But like I've had a huge issue with the Big East this year, and so like I'm just like, don't reward anybody. Don't reward like any of those. Put them on the second and third team. Like I elevate one of our guys, right? Why? Who's going to argue that? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on this. Maybe there's plenty of examples, but I just don't see like in a year where there was such a clear delineation between the upper echelon of the conference and everybody else, why you would do that. Yeah. Anyway.
So moving on to just what we did do though and this might be the case for us, this kind of entire the rest this way is we got a couple other accolades to call out. Tyler Perkins won Most Improved Player. Very
Officially,
well.
the Big East most improved
Big
player.
East most improved player was Tyler
Okay.
Perkins. And Devin Askew was Big East Sixth Man of the Year, which like I agree with both of them. And I'm well documented. Like I did not love the Askew signing when we got him because I'd seen him play when he was the guy with the ball in his hands making every decision. And I said, no, I do not like that. I like shout out to Kevin Willard, shout out to Devin also for accepting the role
Totally.
of coming off the bench. Because like say what you will about him, like, and I've said a lot of stuff. He'd been playing for 6 years of college basketball. He had played at Kentucky, at Cal. Cal's not that great of a thing, but at Texas as well. And like he's had experience. There's no reason that he should be coming off the bench, but it was for the better of the team. It helped Bryce Lindsey early season. Obviously, we've kind of seen some regression there. And it just helped the team having him come off the bench and also allowed him to play in a much more like confident like mood for him or like, yeah, you can let him go off and like he can make a stupid pass or two, but he's coming off the bench and he's supposed to bring that energy. It's a little bit different than when you're looking for him to be like the steadying hand constantly. We had that elsewhere and he still was able to provide that. So like I like really like I would say more than like a lot of players in the past, I have turned around on Devin Askew because of what Kevin Willard was able to do, what Askew was able to accept and perform as. It's just it's a shout out. It's a testament to both of them and the program. Like I loved seeing that, and I don't think we've. When's the last time we've had a 6 Man of the year? Was that Dante? Would have been the last 6 Man of the year?
I don't know. Was it? It probably was.
I'll do some digging on that, like while we talk offline. But yeah, and then yeah, Tyler Perkins as well, just like most improved player, which once again, very well.
That is very well deserved.
Yeah, the leap he's taken, I just don't know how to describe. 81 points for Bam Adebayo. He has tied Kobe's 81.
How much time left?
135.
Oh, in the game?
In the game, yeah.
It's in Will Chamberlain didn't score 100 points. That's a reference from the group chat.
Yeah.
Brian hates that I feel that way. Anyway.
So yeah, shout out to them. And then we're still waiting on hearing back on Coach of the Year, which ostensibly is a 3-man race. Sorry, Dan, it's not going to be Hurley. It'll be either Patino, Kevin, or Shaheen Holloway. That's basically the 3 people that your options are here.
And you think based on the results of this week that probably you're ruling out Holtman.
Yes, I'm ruling out Holtman. Yeah.
Had Holtman won 2 games this week and finished 10-10.
Yeah.
I might have been like, yo.
Honestly, yeah.
Other than DePaul, though, I don't know how I feel about a Big East team getting Coach of the Year for 10-10. I could argue that Shaheen Holloway's turnaround last year was very significant, but like DePaul, the inertia to turn around DePaul, was enormous, right? So like
you're fighting institutional things with this. Not even institutional, psychological, emotional. Like that's a culture change, frankly. Like,
full blown.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think it would come down to Patino, Willard, and whatever. It's interesting because I feel like if people start splitting off between like Willard and Holloway, because the case for Willard and Holloway is greatest over performance versus what your preseason rank was, right? Like that's the case for both of them, right? Like Villanova was picked 7th in the league, finished 3rd. I don't think people thought that 3rd was going to look like 15-5, but that's the case for Willard. And Shaheen Holloway was picked to finish dead last in the league and finished 4th. Now, then again, I don't think people would have thought that 10-10, the other direction, would have been 4th in the league. But like if you expect him to finish dead last and he finishes 4th, that's probably like an 7-8 game win above expectation type performance for Shaheen Holloway. So like credit when credit's due, right? And Willard, who if you've picked to finish 7th, you're probably expecting them to be like, I don't know, call it 7-13 8-13 or 8-12 or something like that, and they finished 15-5. So another like 7-game differential. So that's the case for Willard versus Holloway. And then the case for Pitino is they were the coach of the best team, right? Like, and like, oh, you come in, we're actually the best team, like whatever. Like in the league play this year, St. John's is the best team. So, like if Willard and Holloway start splitting people votes and whatever, like I could see a situation in which Pitino actually jumps up and actually wins it because people just throw their hands in the air and like, no, I'm giving it to the best team. Like they came in the league, they were kind of struggling in non-conference play, and they do nothing but win in conference.
Agreed. I'm like very much in Bam Adebayo world right now. He has 83 points.
You're like, I have nothing else to add.
Yeah. Listen, I'm very much in Bam Adebayo world right now. So I do want to do like a little bit of Big East predictions, and then I have something that I just thought of, a little bit of trivia, kind of see where you're at right now. So prediction for the Big East. Give me your Big East tournament final, who wins. But then also I want, like, that's kind of boring, so we'll do those two. But then I want your like reel of like what's the moment that happens this Big East tournament? Like what's the like that gets replayed for the next 20, 30 years? Like what's the moment here for us or anything? Like we go back to like that UConn game. Like we think about that UConn 2022 game. It's the Brandon Slater block. Like do we have a moment? Does anybody have one? Give me what you have there, then I'll give what I have. So we'll start off with Big East tournament final.
Final will be
final, and then you can pick a champ.
I've made this point, but I think I'm going to stick to my guns. I think it's going to be Villanova versus St. John's in the final.
Okay.
And I think St. John's is going to win.
All right.
I think beating two elite teams in a row is too much. We would have gotten one out of our system. So that's what that's what I think will happen. Would not be shocked if we lose to DePaul on Thursday night, though. But just to make sure I cover every possible case. But like, no, I think we're going to find a way. I think we're going to find a way to finally win a game, mostly because it's March and my mindset's shifted.
I'm going to go a little poetic and a little weird. I'm going to go ahead and say, do I really want to? I want to do it just for the story here. Villanova, Seton Hall.
Okay, you actually bought into my theory from earlier.
And Seton Hall takes it. So you get Kevin Willard losing to his former team, and it's going to be Seton Hall that takes it. Now here's the thing:
four-bid league,
which is for the greater good.
Up 2 wins.
Yep, it's for the greater good, guys. And it's funny because, like, once again, like if you're asking me to pick Villanova versus UConn, I'm picking UConn. But if I'm picking a tournament and I can just skip over, like, yeah, we beat UConn somehow. I'm going to do that. So give me Seton Hall, give me Nova, and Seton
it would
Hall
be poetic 10 years from the day. That would be, or I don't know if it's 10 years from the exact day, but 10 years from the moment.
And that's my moment. The moment is like Kevin Willard losing to Seton Hall, Shaheen like jumping for joy. Seton Hall gets to like, I mean, frankly, probably becomes a bid stealer in this situation. So steals a bid to the tournament. They're not on the bubble, but like they're a little bit, they're like a rung or two below the outside looking in. And yeah, that's my big moment of like the tournament. It's just like Shaheen Holloway, like Jim Valvano jumping through.
Is Shaheen that type of guy though?
I don't think so, but also like, hey, he's never won the Big East tournament before, so it's New York.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's poetic. That is poetic. I like that. I could buy into that.
All
I'm fine with that. It would be cool. A Villanova Seton Hall final would feel like a throwback at this.
Yeah,
point.
it would.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Okay. Give me two teams that are playing Wednesday that might be there on Friday.
Two teams that are playing Wednesday. I mean, One's DePaul. One is DePaul. But so here's my thing. I'm actually gonna not DePaul. It's Providence and Butler. Because, and I know they're facing each other, but it's one of those two that I think would have the best chance to get to Friday. Because I wanted to say DePaul. I think DePaul could beat us. They're not going to beat UConn. That's going to be like,
but DePaul beating UConn would happen, or playing UConn would happen on Friday.
oh,
They don't have to
I'm tripping.
win
Yeah,
Friday.
I'm tripping. Yeah,
They have to get to Friday.
yeah. All right, so
So they have to win their game on Wednesday, and they have to win their game on Thursday.
Days of the week are hard for me. So yeah, then I'm going to stick with DePaul Providence. Those are my two.
Okay, Providence is one of mine. They're still my dark horse to win. If I had to pick a team from Wednesday to win the Big East tournament, Providence still my pick.
Yep.
And it goes straight back to, yes, they played like shit the last week. Yes, their coach is fired, right? Like, but man, that offense can hum. And if it gets going and the Nets look big to their shooters in MSG, they could pour it on. And could they get hot for a couple of days? Yeah. I'm not necessarily taking them to their final.
Stefan Vox was just like a Kemba like just a signature run. Like, it's not impossible.
But like, they've already beaten St. John's in the Garden. So fuck it. Why not?
Yeah.
And then I would say
Herb Sendex Friars.
I would say DePaul. Billy Donovan's Friars. I would say DePaul. Yes, it would involve beating us, which is less fun, but they also have the easiest game on Wednesday. So like just purely like logistically, right? Like they have the easiest game on Wednesday. So therefore they have the easiest path to actually play on Thursday. And then it's just a 40-minute game to make it to Friday.
Yep.
Right, so like DePaul would be, so I guess we had the same answer, but like I don't know. If I had to pick a third, it would probably be Marquette.
Okay.
No, Jeffrey. DePaul. We just both of us predicted Nova in the final.
Yeah.
Like, we don't actually think what's going to happen, but it could happen. But I think we match up good with DePaul. But my point is more this like get to. Jeff, thanks, Jeffrey. Oh, okay, got it. My point is actually that you get DePaul has the easiest game, but Marquette just beat UConn. I don't think they'll do it twice in a row.
I just don't say that.
But Marquette's been jumpy this year. Like they've gotten a little bit friskier. Like as much has been made, and I agree with it. I've made the case like that Shaka needs to revisit his recruiting strategy. Right, like to his credit. Like he's actually gotten that core of guys to kind of buy in.
So now I'm building something. Marquette goes on a run, and he's like, "I was right the whole time. It just took time." And he doesn't.
Like double middle fingers the entire Garden. Yeah. But no, I here's the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to this year is I just want all East Coast teams on Friday night. I don't give a shit. Fuck it. I'm not afraid to say it. Big East is better when it's just the East Coast teams playing on Friday night. Sorry. Like
I don't disagree. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Creighton's learned to travel well, right? Like, you'll see a good Marquette base in there. They've learned to travel well, but they don't have a great team this year. No one's excited about Creighton, right? Like it's good if they're excited about their team. Like just get, I want one of the five, because I'm not even including Georgetown in this.
See, I'm getting pissed off at Georgetown again. Figure it out.
Fuck it. Fuck Georgetown. On Friday night, I just want one of these five teams: Villanova, UConn, Providence, Seton Hall, or St. John's. 4 of those 5 on Friday. I don't care if the tickets will be expensive. I don't give a shit. The Garden will be electric. That's what I want. This
is actually like we need to, because like we've talked about, I mean, this was a down year for the Big East, without a doubt. This is a charge to Val Ackerman, the referees, everything. If we want to keep the Big East where it is supposed to be, that Friday needs to be all East Coast teams, because you're right, Chris. Like that energy on Friday night is going to like that will permeate through the college basketball atmosphere. And it's like down Big East doesn't matter. When you get these programs in Madison Square Garden in the Big East tournament, there's nothing like that. And I need that.
Yeah, we need a little juice.
I need a little juice. I'm getting juiced up a little bit. I'm getting a little excited thinking about it.
Okay. Fast forward, because we won't have another podcast until Selection Sunday.
Yes.
Whatever the results of this week are, tell me what seed and who we're playing.
I'll even do one further. I'll tell you where we're playing.
Oh, nice. I have to look at that. I know Philly's an option, but we're not going to get there.
No. So this was like more of an aside. Like this was like 2 weeks ago. I was like, I'm gonna just seed a bracket, and I like seeded a bracket, and I like went down as far as like literally like putting on the sites that they're gonna go to. So I did this,
which is, by the way, really hard.
Yeah, it takes a lot, and it takes a lot of like you have to like make a lot of like assumptions, but yeah, we can save that for a separate time. So I will go as far as to say I think we're a 7 seed.
Okay.
I think we're a 7 seed. I want to say we're probably going to be the second 7 seed. I think we're going to have the 10 seed.
Are you going to say
thinking
it?
This through.
Are you going to say it?
I'm not going to say NC State if that's what you're thinking.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm not going to say NC State. I think we're going to get. I'm thinking somebody who's going to move up. I'm going to go ahead and say like we get like
Miami, Ohio,
SMU. If it's Miami, Ohio, Godspeed. But the world's going to be against us. I'm going to say SMU. SMU plays their way up to a 10 seed, gets off the bubble, and they're going to be a 10 seed. So I'm expecting SMU to make a run, or Texas. Actually, I feel way better about Texas. So we get Texas. So we get Archie Miller again. We get to see Dalen Swain.
But the where matters on who's our 2 seed.
Yes, and that's the where that matters as well. So let's just say our 2 seed, if we're the second 7, it doesn't really matter, but like our 2 seed will probably not be UConn because they're not going to like potentially, they're just not going to do that. Our 2 seed is probably going to be Houston, which is then going to put us in the Midwest. So we're going to be in the mid.
Houston would be in Oklahoma City.
Okay. So we'll be in Oklahoma City. We'll be in Oklahoma City versus in a little pod with Houston. Houston can play Texas because they SEC Big 12, so they can do that. Bam
had 83.
Bam had 83. I knew. I just hadn't said it yet. So I'm going to say us versus Texas, potted with Houston, and then whoever their 15 ends up being, we'll say like, I don't know, whoever their 15 decides they want to be. LIU, if they move to a 15, I don't know. They probably won't be a 15. Furman will be a good 15. That's actually a fun one. Okay. So that's my take.
Okay. I also have Villanova as a 7 seed. I have us playing North Carolina State.
I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you want to see a man crash out live on a recording, watch it. If it's NC State, I will crash out very much live.
And we will be matched up. The 2 seed will be either.
Oh, we're using eithers.
No, I'm gonna make a call on it, but it's gonna be either Illinois or Michigan State.
Okay.
One of the Big Ten schools, and the site will be.
That puts us in Albany, doesn't it?
Buffalo.
Buffalo, yeah, Buffalo. That's in Albany.
Which is not bad. Yeah. Although if it's Illinois, they might put us in St. Louis.
Yeah.
If it's Michigan, I think it'll be Buffalo.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be Michigan State. I think our bracket, Villanova, NC State, the winner advances to play Michigan State in Buffalo, New York.
And we got a little base in Buffalo. I wouldn't say there's not nothing there.
There's not nothing there. Yeah. It's not a bad draw. It would not be a bad draw. Obviously, we wanted to get Philly, but we're not going to earn the right to play in Philly.
Yeah,
we're NCAA. If they did, there would be a conniption by the 2 seed.
Yeah. Even though there's no real shot we get. I shouldn't say no real shot we get there. I'll hold my horses on that.
But
all right. Go ahead.
That's what I think will happen.
All right. So,
and I think that will be the. Sorry. I think that will be the.
Oh, checking like what time?
No, I think that'll be the East Regional. Or will it be East or South?
It wouldn't be East because that put us in Philly.
No, Washington.
Oh, Washington. Yeah, I forgot Washington. Yeah,
that would be the East Regional. With I think Michigan State's going to be the worst 2 seed.
Yeah,
so I think Duke will be the overall 1 seed. So I think we're going to end up in Duke's bracket.
Carlos Boozer, get ready to meet Duke Brennan, baby. I said Carlos Cam. Sorry, Carlos.
Which would be wild. It would be wild if we actually got to the Sweet 16 and just had to go to Buffalo and Washington. Right? That'd be wild. But like, obviously, none of that's going to happen.
All right. Okay. So the last thing I had is we talked about 6-man of the year winners. Since the Big East started the 6-man award, which was 2007, 2008, 3 Villanova Wildcats have won it. I'm going to actually, it's just 3 have won it. Can you name all 3?
Including Devin?
Yes. No, sorry. Oh, yeah, that's a fair point. That doesn't have it updated. So Devin has won 1. 3 other people have won it.
Oh,
so 4, including Devin. Can you name the other 3?
Dante DiVincenzo.
Yep. There's your gimme.
Corey Fisher.
There's another one.
Phil Booth?
No. If I give you the year, I think you'll get it pretty quickly. So I'm not going to.
I definitely will get it if you give me the year. So don't give me that. Hold on. So I got Corey and I got Dante.
Mm-hmm. The brain is turning. Let me name 2. Yeah, I'm going to name 2 other people that won it in between this time period.
You're just going to, this is a giveaway.
All right.
That's going to give it away. Fuck.
All right. Do you want to, if I try to figure out what a hint I can give you. I'm trying to think if there's a good hint to give. Oh, this is actually.
Usually it's like a good 6 starter. Usually a guy who plays in that between 2007 and 2008. We didn't win the 6th man of the year in 2000. No, Corey won in 2009.
Yes, Corey was 2009.
Right.
I'll give you a hint.
The rest of it. You go ahead.
I'll give you a hint. It's not going to help you very much. This person won it after a person went back to back. So somebody won back to back Big East 6th man of the year, and then the Villanova player won it.
Was it Josh?
It was Josh Hart.
Okay. And that was the same year. It was Josh. Yeah. Okay. Was it? And that was the same year he won Big East tournament most outstanding player.
Yes. Yep. Because 2014, 2015.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And then the person who won it back to back.
If you can get that, I'm going to be impressed. This is like, it's an old school. I mean, it's
he
like.
won it in 2015.
So this person won 2012, 2013, 2013, 2014.
So so that's crazy. So it has to be one of the Catholic 7, because 13 was the old Big East, 14 was the new Big East. So it can't be like Creighton, Xavier, or Butler. Give me a second to think about this. I got to think on this. And you theoretically expect it to be
in 2013, 2014, this person was also all Big East. So 6th man of the year and all Big East. I don't know what team he was.
You don't know what team he was?
It was in.
Oh no, sorry. You know what team he played for?
Yeah. 2nd team all Big East is what he was. I like this. This is fun. This is fun for me.
I'm probably going too far back. Was it like Devonta Smith Rivera?
You gave me a heart attack. It wasn't Devonta Smith Rivera.
Hold on. Don't tell me. But is Georgetown the right idea?
Georgetown's not the right idea.
Okay. All right. Fuck. Yeah, Devontae Smith-Rivera was a couple years before
Yeah.
that. He was a little bit before that. Fuck. So it's not Georgetown.
I'll give you another
St.
hint.
John's? It's St. John's.
It's not St. John's. I'll give you another hint. He plays a position that isn't typically a 6th man of the year position.
Okay. That helps. So it's not a guard, right?
Yep.
And I almost got it because I said, damn it. Now I'm like,
yeah. Now you're here.
Now I'm here. Who was in?
It's a name like I saw it and I was like, I have not thought about this name since he graduated.
This is like the pure like the meme of like guys will name random athletes instead of going to therapy. Like this is like my juices are flowing right now. I need to know the answer to this question. I get one more guess, and then because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
It wasn't St. John's or Georgetown. And he won it back to back and was all Big East.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of like who was fucking good coming from into the new Big East that was part of the old Big East other than us.
It's such a weird, like, what was their record that year?
Providence.
The team went 17-15 that year. So they weren't even good.
Oh, they weren't good. All right. I don't get an answer. Tell me the answer.
The answer was Devontae Gardner from Marquette. The big, the forward, like real low to the ground. Yeah.
Devontae. So when I said Devontae,
I was like, no way.
You were almost like, no fucking way. Yeah. In my head, when I hear 6-man, I go right to guards.
Yep.
Because in order to have that level of impact, I feel like you have to have the ball in your hands. But okay.
Just a list of everybody who won it, just to wrap, starting from 2007, 2008. Pat Ewing Jr., Corey Fisher, Chris Joseph.
At Syracuse?
It's Syracuse, yeah. I'm going to start saying where they came from. Justin Burrell, St. John's. Dion Waiters, Syracuse. Devontae Gardner, Marquette. New Big East, Devontae Gardner, Big Marquette. Josh Hart, J.P. McCura from Xavier.
Yeah.
Andrew Rousey from Marquette. Dante DiVincenzo, Villanova. Paul Jorgensen, Butler. That's 4 white guards that won 6-man in the year.
I was going to say, that's quite a list.
Denzel Mahoney from Creighton. And then 2020, Tyler Polley.
Denzel Mahoney from, I don't remember that guy at all.
Rec specs. I'm pretty sure he wore rec specs.
Okay.
Tyler Polley, UConn. Jared Bynum, Providence. David Joplin, Marquette. Hassan Diarra, UConn. Terrace Reed, UConn. And now Devin Askew.
Devin Askew is going to be the guy in 12 years when some like Marquette podcast is like, who won this? Is it Devin Askew? I don't remember that guy. I do remember that. You said Devontae Gardner. I remember that name.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So this has been a great episode. We should be coming back with the live Selection Sunday show. If anything changes, we will let you know. Figuring out just schedules and doing something live is more fun. And we obviously can't cast this to the TV, so we can't share what we're watching it. So we'll just be like live reacting. So if we can't do that,
we kind of can, can't we?
I don't know what.
If I shared my screen,
but you like put it in the mirror
where it was no, but if I shared my screen with it on, it should theoretically show the changes as it's happening.
Oh no, I know we can show it, but like legally, are you allowed to show that? It's more, what I'm getting at. Yeah. I know physically we can show it.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah. I just don't want who hosts it? CBS. I don't want.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't want them down my neck. So we'll give you updates on that as we get closer to that. And then after that, we'll see how it goes. We'll see who we're matched up with. If it's NC State, I will be taking a leave of absence just for mental health, and we'll see there. But this has been fun. Happy Big East tournament week. Happy NCAA tournament. Both the Cats teams are in, men's and women's. We're having a great time. Kevin Willer leading, Denise Dillon leading. We're peaking. We're beginning to peak, or we're beginning to rise again. And as always, let's go Nova.
Go Cats, baby.
Yes!